after a little break from bowling games, it's time to take a break from fishing games. Especially ones that made me almost completely lose my sanity.
I'm off my meds!
Anyways, this is Championship Bowling for the Sega Genesis, developed by Soft Machine and published by Mentrix Software in the year 1993.
Old.
If you've noticed, I already did indeed review this game before, except that version was the Japanese one. I'll explain the differences next. There's no point in dragging things on any longer, so let's jump into the review and talk about this bowling game.
Finally.
The US version is less easy to play and has a more realistic art style. Sadly, this backfires as it now looks and feels soulless. I kinda prefer the toonish style that we saw in Big Strike Bowling for PS1. It helps the game age better since it was 3D. And while this game is 2D, it just doesn't have that charm you had within the Japanese version. Japan had anime-like art instead, giving more life and character to every action in the game. Otherwise, those are the only real differences. Oh, and this game is entirely in English, unlike the Japanese one. Though it did feature quite a bit of English too. Go figure.
Figures.
So instead of 2 anime guys, an anime girl, and a fucking cool ass robot, we get 2 generic guys and 2 generic women. Lame.
Lame, yes.
Each one comes with a unique style of play and which hand they use to bowl. Mark is a right-hand finesse bowler, Linda is a right-hand finesse bowler, Leroy, oh Christ.
Leroy Jenkins!
God, it's like when I say caribou in a hunting game or show one. No, we're not doing the Jimmy Neutron joke here, okay? This is a bowling game. We'll save that joke for when we review all 16 Cabela games for the PlayStation 2 by next fall. Not looking forward to that one. I also have to review like 14 fishing games for the PS2 to make yet another compilation. Plus, I still need to finish up the Dreamcast fishing games. The SNES, the Genesis, PSP, DS, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy.
Take the money, get some help.
Leroy, goddammit, is a right-hand power bowler. Then finally Donna is the odd lefty who's a smart bowler. Spoiler alert, she's really not.
You dumb bitch.
The game feels a little less easy than Boogie Woogie Bowling. Otherwise, the game plays the same as it did for the Japanese. Championship Bowling isn't anything fancy or revolutionary for bowling game mechanics. Instead, it focuses on simple fun that pretty much anyone can play.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Well, almost anyone that is. As you just press the C button for confirmation, you set up your throwing position by using the left and right on your D-pad, then press C to begin your spin gauge, which will swing from the left to the right. You want to be careful as if it comes back, it will automatically set you up to fail. So you have to be quick and set your spin. Then, you pick your throwing angle and power gauge. Then, you just hope for the best. The game just controls so easy and basic. If it had the cartoon art style to bring more life to the Soulless experience, it would have been even better. It just feels so off after playing Boogie Woogie Bowling.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
You can select your ball when selecting a character. Each one can use a different ball weight, so you can see when picking a ball to decide which weight you want, let alone preferred color. Then grab the ball and get ready to bowl.
Great, let's get started. Medicine ball!
There's only 3 game modes in this game. Just like Boogie Woogie Bowling, you have the option to play alone, against another player, or the CPU. So let's cover practice mode real quick. In this mode, you can bowl 10 frames to simply get an understanding of this game's mechanics. Or just to bowl alone. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. It's a nice addition. I feel like every bowling game should just offer the player the ability to play solo if they want. Once you feel like you can take on the CPU, it's time to move on to versus mode against the CPU. Versus mode has you going up against a randomly selected character in front of a crowd as they cheer and boo each person. Again, the art direction makes the crowd look soulless, and I don't like it at all. Other than that, this is your standard game of bowling, where you need to get more points than your opponent to win. Bowl 10 frames and hope you can defeat them. To which, depending on your opponent, they can be easy or difficult, as each play differently. This one, however, was...
I don't want to brag, but...
Spare game is the second game of 3 modes available. In this, you must hit all pins with a single throw to build up your score, otherwise it doesn't go up. It's basically challenge mode under a different name. It's fine, but I prefer more casual bowling modes, like practice/free/quick play, or even cosmic bowling from Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling Championship, or whatever it was called. So bowl 10 frames, attempting to nail every pin in a single throw, build up your score, and try to get onto the high score list. That's it, and it's okay. Plus, this mode is only playable solo via practice or another player. No support for the CPU, which does kind of suck.
Moving on.
The last of the 3 modes is called bonus game, where each frame there's a set number of pins that have bonus points attached to them. If you nail those, you get bonus points, hence the name of the mode.
Makes sense.
This mode can only be played alone or with another player. Again, they didn't include the CPU, which does suck that the CPU is restricted to versus mode only. I mean, why not in all 3? At least in bonus game, it would work better since all the pins are there and it's literally versus mode with bonus points attached to it. I like this mode in versus most, while spare game is my least favorite of the 3.
I should have figured.
The last thing you can do within this game, besides shut off the console of course, is play with the music and sound effects or view the high scores for each of the 3 modes. It's neat to see games let you listen to the music, namely back in the day before we had the internet and sites like KH Insider for all types of video game soundtracks, or heck, just even YouTube for that matter, to think of how much inconvenient life once was.
In those days.
If you haven't seen the last review, then you need to be aware. This game has some nice tunes.
Here we go again.
The last thing to talk about is the general lack of content. There's only 3 modes and 4 characters. I wish there was at least 2 more modes, preferably one that alters the graphics like a color swap to make it more neon-like.
Maybe he's on drugs.
I enjoy those mood-lit bowling experiences where the lights are off, they turn on the light show with some music as the bowling alley becomes a nightclub. Or at least just a visual change-up like in Brunswick Pro Circuit Bowling for Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 via Cosmic Bowling. Go check out those reviews after this. Heck, just watch the entire bowling playlist on my homepage via the reviews by genre tab by clicking View All.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I do recommend Championship Bowling. It's a mediocre fun game that doesn't have much in the way of substance, but for a simple bowling game, it controls very well and offers some decent fun to be had. Though the art choice does make me yearn for the Japanese version instead, which was Boogie Woogie Bowling. Also, Japan just had a better name for the game in comparison to the more generic one we Americans got.
God bless America.
So that wraps up all bowling games for the Sega Genesis. Yep, there was only ever one that had some differences between regions, and that's it. Sad, I know, because I wanted to review more, but there isn't any.
Why, God? Why?
Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.